Legend has it, there is a smoking hot babe at the top. Jump King begins with this mysterious and tantalizing quote, its author being unbeknownst to the player. You wake up on the bottom of the Red Crown Woods, nearby a bonfire and a tent. Perhaps you decided to stay the night in there before attempting to pursue the dreams and legends that have mesmerized the people from these lands. Right next to you, an old man dozes off, his grey tunic resembling a threadbare cloak. If you wake him up, he reveals precious knowledge of the babe that bewitched so many.
Ah, you have heard the legend too. So you're gonna get that babe, right? Go on then, get up there.
Drawn by the legend, the old man once was a jumper too, but later he whispers that he has found peace in surrendering.
Unlike you, I learned from my mistake. I never tried again.
Lots of fools plague these lands and perish on their way to the top. This is the nature of the tactical leaping game. But you are different. You feel entitled to the crown. And so you begin climbing the Red Crown Woods, this unusual forest that has grown at the bottom of this kingdom. Soon enough, you will have your first encounter with the Black Raven. Ravens are symbols and bearers of the holy message in Jump King, and this one in particular looks at you with curiosity, wondering if you are worthy of the legacy that it carries. And so as you try to get to it, the raven flies away, making it clear that this is no simple test, but a challenge for your worth and self-value. The colossal drain is the next area you reach, the terrible truth behind the amicable forest you've grown accustomed to. The waters from the drain and its sewage have been responsible for the growth of the forest in such a strange place, and its enormous trees are doomed to succumb to rot and disease sooner than later. As you climb the area, a thick odor sets in, and you reach 3 suspended cages with a skeleton in one of them. The skeleton, however, seems to be barely conscious, speaking broken phrases about the scent of her and his quest to the top. It also mentions an old, senile man and talks about him with resentment. One could argue that he's referring to the old man at the Red Crown Woods, but I think that perhaps he might be talking of someone entirely different. Another question that rises is why and how was the skeleton trapped in the suspended cage? But the reasons for his incarceration are kept in the mist, and we can only speculate about it. There is a promising theory, though, and its secrets can be unveiled thanks to the Jumper's poem, located at the False King's Keep. Jumping and falling, my heart is turned cold. Down here naught can warm it, not even gold. So arise and attempt again, fearing not, my heart resting sure that the babe remains hot. What a beautiful composition. Notice how this area is referring to false kings in plural, pointing out that this perhaps was home to the numerous jumpers that decide to proclaim themselves part of royalty after discovering how impossible was the task that they have been given. Maybe even these false kings tried to silence anyone who claimed that their keep was on the final destination, and that the smoking hot babe surely had to be further up. Maybe, and just maybe, that was the fate of our broken skeleton, still invested with intentions that had once when it was alive. Reaching the town above the false kings, we meet an eccentric character. Megildus Dreek is the name. He offers us a pair of boots for just 1 gold. These boots are a wonder of the craft, a delicious finesse designed for a legendary hero, but its low price can be deceiving. As you will soon start to realize, Bergenberg, once called Bogtown, is completely abandoned. It is unknown what happened to its inhabitants, but we can speculate that maybe, being influenced by the legend of the Hot Babe, their lives were claimed by the climb. And so Bergenberg became the sole property of our twisted merchant. At the confines of Bergentown, the great frontier rises, which once was the first line of defense of the people of Bergentown. There, you'll discover a monk meditating in one of the watchtowers, who claims that he tried to cross the Stormwall Pass that is ahead, and yet he failed. Interestingly, he also talks about another jumper that attempted the climb with him, but that he was a fool and soon was claimed by these hellish legends and dreams he was sold. This well may refer to the skeleton in the colossal drain and paint us a wider picture than before. Perhaps the skeleton arrived at the Stormwall Pass with the monk and, in a quick mishap, fell down to the False King's Keep, where he met his fate. The Stormwall Pass has claimed many lives that were drawn by the legends, and the frozen fields of snow and rock hide some secrets within them, such as the gargoyle statue, which is told to bring you bad luck, although there are some who do not believe in such foolish superstitions. Above it, the Chapel Perilous was constructed, where the faith in the Hot Babe was born and the filthy bewitching legend was created. In this holy sanctuary, jumpers devoted themselves to the Hot Babe and swear on their honor to not attempt to keep rising up, as the abstract idea of getting the Hot Babe was more powerful than the babe itself, and thus they remained, chanting and praying, protected from the terrible cold outside. However, you are no jumper of the Order of the Hot Babe, and therefore you keep advancing. Soon you might find yourself in the Blue Rune, a mystic area where the foundations for the tower where the Hot Babe is kept were made. These blue platforms, slippery and resilient, dance with the stars and tell a story that most do not know, and yet it is of utmost importance. It is not known at which point the enormous tower was built and the level of involvement by the gargoyles, but even so, you kept climbing all the way, having to go at such lengths to pursue this legend that, once at the summit, your eyes might break down and start flowing rivers of tears, as the sight of the Hot Babe confirms you what deep down have been doubting all the way. The Hot Babe was real. All of this was real. Your effort meant something. And so the jumper is crowned king, and he flies away with the Hot Babe, who has a flying skirt and just plays on the background, and I don't even know anymore.